Hey, you guys, it's your girl Aquila coming straight at you from Diva-Villege. My mind, my thoughts. So, you guys know that our time is winding down as far as how many more shows, that we have left to do. I'm going to count them later on so we can find out exactly what's going on with our shows. So, lately, what I've been doing is asking people, is it anything in particular that they want me to talk about? So, as you guys remember last week, Deirdre gave me a topic last week to talk about, and I spoke about that one. This week, my sister friend gave me another topic to talk about this weekend, and not this weekend, but this Sunday. And I think that this topic is going to be a really exciting one, also. So I'm going to bring it on so we can start talking about it. The title of my show tonight is "How to Juggle." Hey, Deidre, how are you? So the title of my show tonight is How to Juggle Family and Career. So let me just put that on the screen right now. Okay. How do you juggle family and career? People say all the time, oh my God, it's a lot. I don't have time for all of this right here. Oh my God, this is just too much stuff that I have to do. But then you remember this right here. We all got the same 24 hours a day, right? We all got the same 365 days to a year, the same 52 weeks. So the thing is, what do you do with it? How do you prioritize what needs to be done so that you can take care of everything that needs to be done? Okay? So you say, I have a family and I have a career, or I can't have a family and have a career. A lot of people, hey, Ann, a lot of people would say, you know what? Let me get my career together first, and then I'm going to have a family. But can you do it all at the same time? I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. And let me explain to you why I feel that you can. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do in order to be able to do this right here, hey, Britt, how are you? You guys press share for me. The first thing that you have to do in order for you to have a family and a career, first you have to be organized. Okay? I know a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I'm organized. Yeah, but you're organized to a fault. Yes, and you can have a career and have. Let me take this off, and so I can put your comment up there. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. Ann says, yes, you can. And you can. Now, what I was saying is this. You have to be organized. This is what I do like on a daily basis to keep up with what I have to do. I write stuff down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. And as I complete it, I check it off. That's called being organized. If you don't write things down, and my husband tells me this all the time, when you write it down so you can see it, it makes it real. And when it's real, then you can deal with it. So I say you write it down, and as you go through these different things, you tick it off because people have been having careers and having babies and things for a long time. So don't just think that if you long as don't think just because you have one that you can't have the other because that's not true. Write it down. Get a calendar. You know everybody's phone there. You can have it where you set off alarms and stuff. And says and says I've been doing it all my life and I raised 4 children. See? And think about the women before you. They did the exact same thing. If you have a phone, hey Seth, how you doing? If you have a phone, right? Um, put like notations and stuff on your phone. I have an iPhone. So with iPhone, you can put notes and stuff in iPhone. You can also set alerts so that you can make sure that these different things that you can handle. So don't think that just because you have a career that you can't have a family, or because you have a family, you can't have a career. Write it down, jot it down, everything that you need to do. Because once you write it down and see what it is that you need to do, then you can plan it out. Okay, I have to do this. Let me do this at this time. Let me do this at that time. Don't just be going all willy-nilly thinking, okay, you know what? I can just do this. I don't have to write it down. Be organized. Organization is the most important part if you're going to try to, to make something happen for yourself. Um, being organized. Okay. Now, This one right here, if you're trying to have a family and a career, you have to know how to separate it. You have to have a balance. You know what I'm saying? You can't be all running around like this right here. You have to have a balance. And I know sometimes it's hard to do it, but what I have here it says, leave your work at home. Okay? Because you have a career, you have a family. So when you come home, that's your family time. It's not your job time. I know sometimes we get home and we want to talk about what happened during the day with our significant other. Sometimes you got to just put that to the side because once you start talking about it, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And that's something that you don't want to do because now you home. This is supposed to be your castle. This is supposed to be your place here where you can relax. Leave the job exactly where it's at because when you at work, I doubt if you're talking about your home life when you at work. I mean, some people they do, but for the most part, most of us we don't discuss our home life at work. So when you come home, just leave it. When you walk out that door, when you clock out, leave that stuff right there and you pick it up the next day as you walk through the door. Leave your work at the job and come home with a clear mind. Because when you come home, that's family time. No longer is that job time, it's family time. Um, my next thing is this right here is to spend quality time with your spouse. Okay. Now, like I said, you have to be organized. So you have to set up time for everything. So that means set up a date night. So you say Friday night. There's nothing else that I'm going to do on Friday night because I have a date night. That's the night that I'm going to spend with my husband. That's the night that I'm going to spend with my wife. Remember from the beginning what I said. You writing these things down. And if you have to do it like a calendar for a week, then that's what you do. But you write it all down so you know exactly what it is that you have to do. So when you say, okay, Friday night, this is my date night, there should be nothing else coming up in this right here. Your job shouldn't be interfering in it. Your career shouldn't be interfering in it. This is the time right here that you're going to spend just with your spouse. And remember, you leaving the job at work, well, you're leaving the work at the job. So therefore, you're not having that conversation about what happened at the job. You leave that stuff because now that this is the time for you and your spouse, now this is the time you guys are having your date night. So this is the time there that is all about the two of you guys. This is when you guys are getting to know each other or rekindling what you had. You can take that date night and you can do something simple as Netflix and chill. Go take a walk. Check into a hotel. Just something different. Something to separate everything else that's been going on. To show your spouse, okay, you know what? You've had a hard week. I've had a hard week. We both have all this stuff that we have to do, but now this time is for us. Or what is really nice? Go get a joint massage where both of you can just chill and get a massage and just relax and just exhale, whatever you need to do. But remember, stick to your schedule. Sometimes when you start to deviate, it messes you up because when you have something already planned out, if you let something come into that, or if you switch up that plan just a little bit, you're gonna throw off your entire regimen. So what you do, you write it down and you go by exactly what you have written down. So Friday night, this is date night. Nothing else matters. I'm not doing anything else. Me and my spouse, me and my significant other, we're gonna have a date night. I'm showing you that you can have a family and you can have a career, but you got to be organized. You got to put everything in its place. Remember, you can do it because it's being done. Like Ann just said a few minutes ago, Ann said that she's been doing it for the last, what? She's raised 4 kids and she's been able to work and raise her kids. And speaking of kids, be present in your children's life. That's big. Some people think, okay, you know what? I clothe my kid, I feed my kid. Hey, Lay, how are you? Oh, I got to put this on, y'all. You guys hold on for a minute. I like to give everybody, their time and everything. Hold on. Hey, Bev. So you guys see this right here? She said, hey, girl, my first time joining your show. I'm so proud. I'm glad that you tuned in to watch the show tonight. I have a lot of people in here that are always here, but I'm always happy to see somebody new come on. Hey, Bev, how are you? So now I'm going to go back to where I was at. Um, okay. Be present in your children's life. Don't just be like, okay, I bought them this, I bought them that. And that means nothing. It means nothing. I mean, yeah, you gotta feed them, you gotta clothe them, but being present in their life means if they're in school and they're having some sort of a program in school, go to it. Make sure that you set your schedule because in school, if there's something going on, they give you plenty enough time in advance to plan so you can get this stuff together. So when your child is looking out in that audience, that child wants to see you. That's being present in your child's life. If your child is into sports and stuff, and they look up in the bleachers and you're there. That's called being a part, being in your child's life. Hold on, you guys. I gotta put Ann's comment on. Ann said yes all the time, game shows and whatever function is going on. Yes, you have to be a part of the child's life. Money and stuff is good, but money never beats love. You know what I'm saying to you? Some things you can't put a value on it, and love is one thing that you can't put a value on it. And yes, and they do remember. Kids forget, okay, yeah, you gave me money, okay, but they so used to you giving money. But when they look back and they be like, oh, you know what? When I was in first grade and I was in this Cinderella play and my mother was sitting there, my father was sitting there. Oh, I was playing my first basketball game. You know what I'm saying? They remember that stuff, and that stuff, it counts. Some people think, you know what? I don't have to do all that because I'm so busy. Forget that you're busy because you have to set the schedule. You have to make time for your kids. The kids don't ask to come here. You're the one that's making these kids. So now they're here. These kids are your responsibility. Be present in their life. I know somebody said to me once, oh, I'm going to take my child's father to court for child support. Okay. So when all the other kids is outside playing with their father, they tossing the football, they're playing basketball or whatever, your kid is going to take this check stuff and wrap it around like this, right? And say, yeah, I'm out here with my father. That means nothing. Nothing. We have to make time. You're 100% right, Ann. It means nothing. I mean, kids like for you to buy them stuff, but I'm telling you, being present in their life, being there for them, sitting down, having conversations with them, go to the movies and stuff. Set time up for the kids. Just say, okay, it's Saturday. I'm just throwing these days out. You can fix your own days. It's Saturday. You know what? I'm going to go to a matinee show with my kid because you know your kids have lives too, so they have things that they want to do too. So you know what? I'm going to go out with my kid. I'm going to go to the movies. I'm going to go have a lunch. I'm going to do something. Make it so your kid can always remember and say, "My mother did this or my father did this right here." Elaine said, I learned that one of the upsides to being a parent in your children's life is that in the later life, as you age, they will be present in your life. You know what? This is a good point. If you're present in your kids' life as they're growing up and you have that relationship, when you get older and they get older, they would definitely be there in your life also. Your kids will be there for you just like you were there for them. But if you let your kids grow up and you're not there for them, only thing you do, you just give them money or whatever the case may be. When they get older, they're going to remember this is what you did. This is what you taught them. The worst thing and the thing that I hate to hear is when kids say, oh, when my mother and father gets old, I'm going to put them in a nursing home. Why do you think that they're saying, I'm going to put you in a nursing home? Were you present in their life? Were you there for them? Were you a part of what was going on? Or did you take them and let somebody else raise them so you can do your own thing? Again, I'm not knocking anybody because you can have a family and you can have a career. It all goes together, but you just have to be able to prioritize what's going on so that you can fit it all in. Don't make your child feel like, oh, they're your last priority. You know, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time for you. You should never tell your kid that you're too busy, that you don't have time for them, because I'm telling you, when you get older and you need that child is going to tell you the same thing. And then you're going to think that the child is being rude. You're going to think the child is disrespectful. You're going to think that the child doesn't care. No, the child is only doing what you taught them, what you showed them how to do. Be present for your child, not just monetary or doing things that's expected of you, like feeding and clothing, house, shelter. More than just that, being present means being present. Anything that they're a part of, you be a part of that too. Um, That was a real nice one. I like that one. Um, this one. So, women, we are not superwoman, none of us. And we have a tendency of trying to do everything. We can't do everything. We can't. So the thing about that is you have to know when to ask somebody for help. Because if you're trying to do everything yourself, of course you're not going to have time for nothing else. You're not going to have time for your family. You're not going to have time for your career because you're burned out. You're running yourself crazy. No, when things get crazy, ask. Even if it's your kids, even if it's your spouse, ask for help. Don't be too proud to say, I can't ask because you know what? I'm this super person. I have to do it myself. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If you have that relationship and everybody is working together and it's called family and career, everybody knows there's something that has to be done. So everybody just falls in line, but ask for help. If you know that your child has what a play in the school and you know that you may get there late, you know what, then say to somebody else, a friend, a sister, uncle, anybody, hey, do me this favor, could you go there and be there for my child, just so when they look out there somebody is there, and I'll be there just as soon as I can, because you can't do everything. Trying to do everything, something is gonna go. Oh, okay, I was just reading somebody's comment. Trying to do everything, something is going to be lacking, and you can't do it. Don't be afraid to ask. Not only in your home life, even let me bring up my next one. Even if you are at work, and you know sometime at work there's deadlines. Don't be afraid to ask somebody at the job, yo, could you help me? I have X amount of time and I need to get this done now. Don't let your deadline run into your home time with your family. No, because like I said, when you leave that job, you got to leave it at the job. So if you have a deadline and you say, okay, this has to be done by Friday, and you know it's a big project and you may not be able to do it by Friday, ask somebody to help you. Because why are you going to sacrifice your family for something that you should have like, how you say, paced out? What? Lord, I can't even say what I'm trying to say now. How are you going to sacrifice the time for your family when this is something I'm quite sure you knew that you had to do it? And what you should have done from the beginning is sat down and figure out, okay, how can I get this done? This is how much time that's allotted for. How much time can I realistically put into it so that I can make sure that it's done on time and that it doesn't interfere with my family life? Meaning, at the end of the day, when I walk out, I can go home to my family on time. You got to write this stuff down. You got to get this stuff together because no child, no family should be felt left out because something is going on. Sometimes on your job, you may have to be doing something after work, but don't make a habit out of it because you have to go home to your family still. I know these things, you guys know these things, and you probably like never looked at it or thought about it like that. But these are things that you have to think about. And then on top of all this right here, you got to take time out for yourself. You got to take time for yourself to relax. Takes time so you can exhale. Um, Sometimes we're so busy doing for everybody else that we forget about ourselves. But take time for yourself. Go to the hairdresser. Go get your nails done. Go get your feet done. Whatever it is, do something for yourself so that when you go back to your family, when you go back to your career, you're not stressed out. You're not aggravated. You're not burned out. Because if you can't do for yourself, if you can't get yourself together, how can you get everybody else together? There's a balance, and you have to know how to balance everything out. Your family life, your career, balance it. You have to know when to say, okay, now I'm in work mode. Now I'm in family mode. Now I'm in spouse mode. Now I'm in children mode. You have to be present for each and everybody, and you can't be half stepping. You got to give 100% to all of it. So I say, is it possible for you to do all of these things? Yeah, it is possible that you can do each and every one of these things. You can have a family and you can have a career. It's just all about balancing. It's all about knowing what you do. Like I said in the beginning, write it down. Check it off as you go through it. And after a while, it'll be just like breathing. If you want to like go to the gym and stuff, pencil it in. You can use like my husband and I, we go to the gym like 3 times a week, right? But that's still time when it's just us. There's no talking about work. There's no talking about anything. Then we leave from there. We go someplace, we sit down and we eat. But it's just about us working out, us getting ourselves together, and it's health thing. There's been times when I say spend time, again, spending time with the spouse. We go to the spa and we get massages. You know what I'm saying? Something different, something that you can do. My daughter and I, she's no longer a little kid. She's an adult, but she still needs time too. So we'll do brunch. We'll do a movie. We'll go get our nails done. It's not that hard. I mean, I know everybody's career, everybody's job is different, and some things become very, very demanding, but we do what we want to do. So if you want to set a set, so if you want to set a Peter Pecker, pick a pecker, pickle. If you want to set aside time to do this, you can. Write it down. Put it on the calendar. If you have an iPhone, any phone, Outlook, put it there because it tells you, okay, I have to do this. I have to do that. Don't make it seem like it's a job or something like that, but it's something that you want to do. You know that once you leave the job, you have to come home, spend time with your family. You have to come home and cook. If you have small kids, you have to come in and talk to them. What did you do at school today? Did you have any homework? Did you have any tests? Did you pass your test? Let me see what you did in school. There's enough time for everything. There's what 24 hours in a day, and then your kids go to bed early. For the most part, a lot of them do. But then when your kids go to bed, if you feel then there is something from the job that you need to look at or something that you need to do, you can do it. Or you just get up earlier in the morning and you can do it. But there's always time for everything. You never neglect anything in your life. You never neglect your career. You never neglect your family. Make everybody in your family feel like you care. Be present for everybody. I mean, I don't know how I can say this any different. And I hope that this right here helps somebody out because I'm quite sure somebody is out there trying to say, how can I be a mother and work? We do it. We've been doing it for years. I mean, think about back in the days doing the slave time. What they used to do, they used to have the baby, put the baby in the house and go right back out there to the fields and start working. And nobody complained about that. And they continued on. So we can do it too. I mean, listen, my mind, my thought, don't nobody get mad when I say this right here, but we always talking about, equal rights, women live and all this right here. So this is your time right here. You're not superwoman. You can't do everything. But what you can do is the time that you have, the things that you have to do, you can plan those out. Write it down. Put it on a calendar. Put it on a wall where you can see it so you know exactly what it is that you have to do. But never neglect anything. Never neglect your home life. Never neglect your spouse. Never neglect your kids. Never neglect your career because there is time for all of it. Think about how much time you've wasted. Think about how much time when you sit around doing absolutely nothing. And during that time, you can fill in some of those gaps with your family, with your career, being present and being a part of everything. I'm going to bring this to a close. And I just want to say, I hope somebody got something out of this right here. Hope this helps somebody to change how they were doing their things. Hopefully, it makes it a little easier for you. If anybody else has anything else that they want me to talk about, let me know because I think I only have maybe 3 more shows, and this season is going to be up. So if anybody have anything particular they want me to talk about, just let me know. But until then, you guys know what it is. Every Sunday night at 8:30, I'm here. You can catch me here. Once I finish this right here, you can go to YouTube and you can also watch it. Or you could just go to my store, which is demarca@bandcamp.com. You can download my podcast. You can buy my merchandise. I still got my t-shirts, my bottles, my bags. I still have all of that stuff. You can download it so you can listen to it. So whenever you can watch me, You can just listen to me. Other than that, only thing I can say is thank you guys, for coming in. Thank you guys for watching me. Elaine, I hope that you got something out of this right here. I hope that you come back again. Not only come back again, since this is your first time, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is Diva-Villege, which is DIVA hyphen VILLEGE, and you can watch all my old shows. I have a lot of nice shows and stuff there. But until then, you guys, remember my mind, my thought. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you next week. Good night.